Tonight, many, if not most, of the over 151,000 children who attend Montgomery County Public Schools will fan out across the county going trick-or-treating. They'll dress as everything from construction workers to zombies to superheroes. Some will venture to fabled haunted houses throughout the county in search of a special scare: tight, crowded staircases, leaky roofs, failing, noisy ventilation systems, small closets turned into living spaces. Huh. That sounds a lot like a growing number of schools in Montgomery County.
Bigger is not always better when it comes to overcrowded schools. On October 31st at Julius West Middle School, Dr. Joshua Starr and several state and county leaders announced a joint effort to push for the state of Maryland to fund several MCPS school renovation and expansion projects, which would address the issue of the rising number of MCPS students. MoCo Student decided to ask several students about their opinions and experiences as students in schools directly impacted by these upcoming projects.
Without the infrastructure, the entire building as a place of learning where students can go, how can they feel like they're being supported by a safe and positive environment?
School modernizations are necessary for Montgomery County Public Schools simply because of the insane rise in enrollment in recent years.
There are ceilings leaking, our computers in the media center are damaged, there's water dripping down almost every time it rains and we have buckets there. Those computers do not work because there has been water damage.
And I saw that some schools are I feel are better than others because you look at Richmond Montgomery's Main Street, it's beautiful, and then Northwest High School is pretty decent, but I go to schools like Poolsville and it's kind of not that great.
Just having a positive environment will stimulate someone's will to learn. If you go into a building and it looks like it's about to die, I don't think that's a very good stimulator for a positive learning environment.
You have schools where the ceiling tiles are falling out in the middle of classes. You have schools where paint is chipped everywhere. You have schools like Seneca Valley where there is concern about asbestos in certain parts of the school. There are many concerns, and that's really why MCPS does need a large capital improvements program and much greater support from the county and state.
Our school used to have an open floor plan, so there were no classrooms before, and what the county did was they put in temporary walls, which works to some extent, but they don't work anymore. You can hear the sounds from other classrooms. It disrupts the learning environment in our school. Just everything, there's overcrowding in the hallways, are not big enough. Our school just needs a new floor plan, and it's affecting our students' learning environment. Students are concentrating more on what's wrong with the school than like what education they're receiving.
The real problem at our school is that there's overcrowding because the developing area, there's a lot of new homes being built. But I know regarding school modernization across the county, there are a lot of schools, especially Damascus, which is a neighbor of ours, is really run down, and their school is actually over 100 years old, and the water fountains aren't really working, the paint is peeling, it's not good for the students. The learning environment, it's just not one that encourages students to learn when you're learning in a building that's almost falling apart. I think across the county there could be some school modernization improvements, and that's what I have to say about that.